Joseline's Cabaret, episode 12, titled Put On Your Disco Shoes. So the episode starts off in the rehearsal studio and we got Chinks versus Oceans. In the beginning, both of them were pretty much missing all their hits. Ocean's gonna start grabbing Chinks by the hair and she got like a couple hits in, you know, boom, boom, boom. But then all of a sudden, of course, as per usual, what keeps happening on Joseline's Cabaret, everybody keeps jumping in. I'm actually kind of shocked to see that Sky was the first person to jump in here. I'm like, what beef do you have with Chinks? Like, girl, you make no sort of sense whatsoever. You know how it feels to get jumped, like what happened to you, and you didn't like it. So what are you doing exactly? I seen Sky jump in there. Of course, T-Love's gonna try to jump in there. I seen Des try to get up in there, and Erica got up in there. They pretty much jump Chinks at this point. Why? Because Black Squad, their whole clique thing that they got going on Joseline's Cabaret. I'm not gonna lie, to me, this is kind of like ruining the show, because if you're gonna have to get into an altercation, it needs to be a fair one-on-one. But no, pretty much on Joseline's Cabaret this season, if you're getting into an altercation, you're pretty much gonna get jumped, guaranteed. There is no fair and square one-on-one. And I'm surprised Joseline herself is not speaking up, because she used to in the past. She used to be like, oh, no, we're not jumping. We need to do one-on-one only. So yeah, anyways, Chinks walks off. She says she just needs to catch her breath. She comes back. She said nobody's gonna chase her out of the cabaret. So all the girls are on stage, like literally standing in their pose with their arms behind their back. Like, looks like they're getting ready to dance, right? They all standing like this. All of a sudden, Chinks comes down. They're like, oh, shoot. Chinks, what do you want, girl? You came back? Like, what, you trying to fight? You trying to rehearse? Chinks came down like, look, I don't know who jumped me. Whoever jumped me, I want it. Joseline did call out this time. She was like, okay, one-on-one. Who wants to go against Chinks? Y'all not about to jump her. T-Love steps down and she's like, all right, come on, let's go. The way they squared up was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Chinks was like, doing like this, like, but yeah, T-Love tries to go in with a kick immediately. They start swinging, boom, boom, boom. Honestly, in the beginning here, Chinks was pretty much taking her. Then when they fell to the ground and like T-Love had Chinks kind of like in a headlock, she started hitting her, boom, boom, boom. They're on the floor and Chinks literally manages to get on top of T-Love. You see, once again, the Cabaret sisters, as they like to call themselves, run and jump in for T-Love. T-Love had Chinks in a headlock. She was like choking her out, like trying to squeeze as hard as she can. Yeah, all of a sudden you just hear T-Love like spitting over and over and over. She keeps spitting at Chinks, which is so disgusting. Like, Joseline already chewed you out for that. She already told you that is disgusting. Why would you spit again? Chinks is still on the floor. It looks like she's trying to catch her breath. She's literally like, arms are in front of her, just like like T-Love is kicking her. I'm just like, this fight lasted a long time and it was like really messy. I don't know, I just feel like this wasn't worth it. Like, y'all fought how many times already? And if we rewind back to episode 1, like, T-Love, you did start with her for no reason. So literally, like, you were in the wrong. You are in the wrong. I don't know. I don't really like this. But yeah, you see Chinks pretty much walking off once again, and T-Love is talking about, yeah, I whooped her. If anything, I feel like in the beginning, Chinks definitely was I guess when they were on the floor, T-Love was choking her and stuff. Like, you could barely see it, but I guess, yeah. Chinks is off stage. She's not dancing. You see the girls dance a little bit. We got to see a couple of seconds of their routine. Thank you for not slowing it down and like we just see their like boom boom in slow motion. Like, at least we got to see a little bit of the dance routine in real-time speed. Some of the girls look cute up there, but yeah, Chinks is literally off to the side. Apparently she came through the back door with some water and she threw that water onto the stage. They started getting angry. They're like, oh hell no, how did she get through security? You see Oceans and T-Love trying to run back there. Both of them at the same time slip and fall on the water. Literally busted their ass. I was dying. I was like, that's what y'all get. So anyways, Joseline speaks up. She did say like the sneaking was a lot, but I don't feel like she's like putting her foot down like she should in terms of the jumping. Like, the jumping is just too much. But yeah, she pretty much tells them they have a show to do tomorrow and all of the girls are going to be in this show. She's not sending anybody home. And I feel like that's low-key because we already saw 7 girls go home. So Joseline did say something that just surprised me. She did say that she appreciates all the girl and that she she's forever in debt to them, and she thanked them for their contributions to the cabaret. And I was like, wow, Joseline, that's really sweet. Like, honestly, I wish we could see that side of you more. I don't mind this more soft version of Joseline. I don't mind it at all. Okay, so the scene cuts and transitions, and who do we see? Boom, Neek. So yeah, she's coming to the house to have a conversation with Joseline. This is kind of a little bit bittersweet, I'm not gonna lie, because in real time right now, Neek quit the cabaret. So she's actually no longer a part of the cabaret. I don't know the details of what happened. There's a lot of speculations on what happened. People saying that literally it was because of the show. Yeah, anyway, she's back on the show for now, even though we know this is not gonna last. So Joseline's already sitting in the room. Neek walks in, you know, Neek is waving the white flag. She pretty much is like, come here, Joseline, give me a hug, give me a hug. She tries to hug Joseline. Joseline's literally trying to like pull back. She's trying to, you know, play the hard exterior, and she's like, you can have a seat, we could talk, like, let me hear what do you have to say, basically. So even though Joseline told Neek she wants to hear her out, she doesn't really let Neek say anything. Joseline starts off and she's pretty much trying to humble Neek. She's like, Neek, when you first came to the cabaret, you only had 7,500 followers. Now you got over 200K followers. Like, that's because of me. That's because of the cabaret. Like, you don't appreciate anything, Neek. Neek was like, actually, I had like 20K followers. Here's my thing. It's like, Neek, you didn't even need to say that. Who cares? It's such a small, minute little detail. It doesn't change anything. Neek, she tries to cut Joseline off. She doesn't really want to hear it, and she tries to apologize, but Jocelyn pretty much cuts her off, and she's like, if you don't want to hear what I have to say, you don't got to be here. You don't appreciate. And Neek is telling her, I do appreciate this. I do. Joseline was telling her, like, all you had to do the other night was just be quiet. But you couldn't do that. Like, why couldn't you do that? Why couldn't you just be quiet? Neek did apologize, and she did say, I'm sorry for speaking over you. But she was just trying to defend herself. That's it. She did pretty much take accountability for it. Joseline's not really satisfied with that apology. She tells her, you don't cherish your spot. And Neek says she does cherish her spot. And I'm me just thinking, like, in real time, oh, this is so sad to watch. She's no longer in the cabaret. Damn. Oh, shit. Joseline is going in right now. Joseline's literally like, I don't care, Neek. I won't miss you. And guess what? The people aren't gonna miss you too, because you know what? We got people that can dance better than you, like Kiera. I was like, who's Kiera? Damn. But no, like, this is where I feel like too much. Like, don't compare the girls. That's not right. I feel like she's really trying to lower Neek's self-esteem right now by saying stuff like that. Like, yes, Kanaya can dance. And low-key, the people have been saying that Kanaya dances just as good as Neek. I don't know, because they won't show us on the show how the girl dances. But yeah, Neek is like, she don't dance better than me. She's literally laughing. I made Joseline mad. She's like, yes, she does. You know why? She doesn't have a bad attitude. She doesn't drink like you. She smiles. She actually be quiet. I'm like, okay, well, you said dancing, but I guess I guess I get it. You're saying that Kanaya is overall more pleasant to work with than Neek. But it's funny because Neek was in her confessionals like, cheers to that, with a drink, took her little shot. Joseline starts talking about how, you know, Neek turned her back on the stage and how that was super disrespectful. And she was like, even right now, when I'm sitting here talking to you, you chewing your gum, like smirking, you're just very disrespectful. I can see a little bit where Joseline has come from, I'm not gonna lie, because Neek is like the whole time smirking, and I think Joseline just wants her to seem more authentic when she's apologizing. But yeah, no, then Joseline starts talking about her mom. Joseline says that Neek reminds her of her mother. Literally, she said her mother was not a good mother. Her mother never apologized to her for the things that she did. And I was like, oh my gosh, see, this was one thing I did not know about Joseline. I did not know that she did not have a good mother growing up, and actually that kind of explains a lot about why Joseline is the way that she is. Oh my gosh, she said like her mother used to have a whole bunch of men coming in and out of her house when they were small, and those men used to Joseline. Like, oh my gosh, that is so up. But yeah, Neek, in the middle of Joseline opening up, Neek is like, don't take that out on me. I was like, ooh, shush, not the right timing. You need to learn how to read the room here. She's being vulnerable. We barely ever see Joseline being vulnerable. Let her finish what she has to say before you interrupt her. Now is not the time for being sassy. Now is the time for actually bonding. Like, this was actually a perfect time to have a bonding moment. Okay, so Neek literally does say, she says, I'm sorry that happened to you, but like, like, I'm not like your mother. She can't win for losing. Like, no matter what she says, she would get chewed out. So I think that's why she has this sort of attitude right now. But yeah, Joseline doubles down. She says that both Neek and her mom are Sagittarius, and that's why they are like that. I'm like, okay, well, all y'all Sagittarius people out there, is that true? Y'all crazy like that? Let me know, because I don't know nothing about the signs. See, I'm an Aquarius, and I don't think I fit that at all. They say like Aquarius are like weirdos and we like to be by ourselves, and I'm like, nah, I'm pretty normal. I'm not a weirdo. I don't like to be by myself, you know. I want to be with people. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the horoscopes thing, but I know Joseline's super into it. So finally, Neek reaches her breaking point. She breaks down and starts crying. She's trying desperately to just squash things. Like, I kind of get it. Neek is just, she don't want to talk and argue about things. She just wants to squash it and move forward. Whereas Joseline, she wants to talk about what happened so that she can get like a proper, authentic apology, and then they can move forward. See, this is like, what is it called? Conflict resolution. This is like two different types of people. You know, I don't know the therapy words, but you know what I'm saying? One is like avoidant and one is not. I'm probably misusing those words, but no, literally, you can see Joseline wants to talk things through. Neek is not that type of person. Neek wants to just squash it and move on. So Neek talks about her and Joseline are friends, and Joseline's like, no, I'm your boss, Neek. And definitely in the previous episodes, Joseline had called Neek her friend, but I feel like that might be what the real issue is. It seems like there's a blurred line here of friendship versus boss. I think moving forward, Joseline does need to just keep it professional and be these girls' bosses and not try to have, you know, personal relationships with these girls. They didn't come to a resolution. Joseline ends up getting up and walking out and leaving because she says she doesn't believe that Neek is being authentic. And that's pretty much how they left it. And I was shocked. I was like, oh, damn. Okay, so the scene cuts and we see all the girls packing their bags and they are on their way to San Diego for the first show. Woo! Chinks and Neek are not on the buses. However, we do see Chinks in a hotel. She's already in San Diego. And we see a producer call her and they tell her pretty much that she is not going to be performing tonight. And that was Joseline's call. Joseline decided. So Chinks is pissed off. She's like, why did y'all have me drive 4 hours all the way here? And I was like, wait, you drove here? Did I hear that correctly, Chinks? You drove as in what? Your own car? Does she live in California? Or maybe she just meant like ride. But yeah, anyways, they pretty much tell her she can't perform tonight and they don't really give her a reason. They just said, you and Joseline can talk about it, but as of tonight, that's what Joseline decided. I feel like it's probably the safest call if you don't want any drama at the performance, because T-Love was already talking about she's gonna fight if she sees Chinks there. So yeah, it does seem like Joseline prefers T-Love over Chinks, right? I feel that vibe. So yeah, that's unfortunate. You could tell Chinks really wanted to perform. Like, she really wants to be in the Cabaret this season. She's trying her hardest. So I hope this does work out for her, and I hope she doesn't keep getting snubbed. So the girls all arrive to San Diego, to the club. They're wearing their red costumes. They all look really cute coming off of the bus, walking inside. The crowd is going crazy. They're like, woo! Joseline's Cabaret! I want to know anybody that's been to one of the live shows, like, how was it? Was it fun? I need like a full review. Like, I was trying so hard to find like a vlog or something on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. I'm like, how come nobody's posting it? I really want to see one of the shows. I mean, I know it's like, well, pay money and go see it, but like, I just want to see a little bit. I ain't trying to see the whole show online, you know? But yeah, we see Joseline inside. She has on her red outfit. Her hair is curly. She looks really good. Lemmy surprises her. She did not expect him to be here. Literally, the CEO of Zeus Network is there to support her, which I thought was pretty nice. You see all the girls getting up on the stage. Drea literally said that stage was the tiniest stage they ever performed on. And when you see Joseline and all the girls on the stage, I'm like, ooh, it does look pretty tight. All right, so we got to see like a montage of the show. I'm not gonna lie, it looked very, very cute. Like, you saw a compilation of the girls dancing to different songs. At one point, the crowd was cheering for Oceans. Joseline let her have her shine, you know? She's like, oh, what? Oh, y'all want the white girl? Oceans, come on then. Oceans gets off stage, she busts a split, like, crowd is cheering, Oceans, Oceans. I'm like, oh wow, y'all up with Oceans in San Diego? I'm just surprised because it seems like online, people just hate her so much. I'm not one of those people. Like, she's just a teacher's pet. pet, you know, she's such a teacher's pet, but I don't hate the girl at all. But yeah, she got her shine. G Baby had a solo with Joseline, and I have to say G Baby looked good. Overall, from the compilation that we saw, I feel like the show looked pretty nice. Okay, so Joseline comes in, meets with all the girls, and she actually shows them some love. She tells them, you know, all right, that was a good show. They only had 2 days to prepare, by the way, which I thought was wild. Like, some of those girls didn't even know the dances, so they learned all those dances in 2 days, and pretty much they had a successful show. Joseline pretty much congratulates everybody, says she still has to decide who's gonna win that 50K, and on to the next city. And then we get the previews for the next episode.